Hello and welcome to Leviathan News. It is June 12th, and I'm joined, as always, I am Samuel McCulloch, and I'm joined, as always, by DefiAdvisoor.
How are you, sir? Nice to be on.
I'm great. Yeah, I'm doing well.
Great. Here it's great as well, thankfully. Holiday here, by the way, so happy Shavuot for everyone who's celebrating. Nice to be on, man.
Yeah, and today we have a very special guest that I've known for a long time. That's Moshe Malawach from Aleph IM. I'd actually yeah, nice to have you here. So Moshe, I ran into you at ETH Denver, and I wanted to get this scheduled way back when was it, February?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Oh no, you're here. You're here now. You're here. So it's great to have you here. ETH Denver was a pleasure to be at. I really had a good time, and I'm really excited to talk about Aleph today, as a little bit later in the show. But before we get there, let's talk about some news. So yesterday we had spoken about Uwu Lend, and today they made an announcement that they had identified the vulnerability, which was an issue with their Oracle their Oracle pricing, and now that's been resolved, and they're going to be reopening the markets shortly. The markets have been reopened now, and they're going to be relaunched one at a time over the next few hours. So the protocol is going to repay all the bad debt, which is about $20 million. And yeah, so quick turnaround. I guess, Sifu's got enough cash to make this thing
Another day in the office.
Another day in the office, exactly. I think Sifu has quite a bit of cash, so it's okay for him. He'll make it back.
How is there should be a documentary about Sifu and all this kind of stuff,
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I know. Where does Sifu sit on the what's it called? Wait, what's like the 9-panel scale where it's like good, neutral, good?
Yeah. Chaotic neutral.
Is he really chaotic neutral?
I don't know. Chaotic evil? I don't know. Something like that.
I don't know if he's chaotic evil. That would be like an SBF character, right? But
SBF was more like a chaotic neutral because there were some good parts, bad parts. He's more evil, but it was weird.
Maybe he's like because he's always been attached to all these kind of dubious projects. Most notably, going back to the Quadriga CX hack.
Yeah.
Right. But since then, he's kind of been in and out, or like into DeFi quite a bit, and has launched a bunch of projects. Some have kind of done well, some have not done well, and just keeps on chugging. I guess he's made enough money at this point that it doesn't really matter, and that's probably why he's like a neutral evil, right?
Yeah. Well, I think it was more evil before, and then it switches to like neutral because he doesn't need cash anymore, I guess.
Well, we're right in the true neutral, hopefully, as mid participants in this market, since we're media members. About the best that we can be. Yeah, we saw Michael's position get liquidated yesterday, so I don't know. Maybe Sifu and Michael work something out, and Uwu's back up.
Yeah.
So we do have some breaking news, though. This is like literally breaking on stream. A couple of minutes ago, like 5 minutes ago, maybe 10 minutes ago, Ripple announced that they're launching their own stablecoin, which I'm not surprised at. Everybody should have their own stablecoin. They're calling it RLUSD, and it's coming to the XRP ledger and Ethereum later this year.
That's actually very cool. Like interesting. Like I've never heard anything that got me like thinking, okay, Ripple is doing something interesting. But like a stablecoin, I understand, you know.
So, who's actually gonna use this thing?
Yeah, well, the thing which is really interesting there is that they are launching it on Ethereum as well, which might show a change of practice because Ripple is actually a blockchain, and they are launching something on Ethereum, which shows that they are understanding that Ethereum is actually the backbone of finance and DeFi. I think it's quite interesting there.
I think it's a firm invalidation of XRP as a network at this point, because pre-stable coins, XRP was supposed to be what stable coins are now, which is this very fast way of settling value between entities, and it never really took off. Probably due to the SEC, them getting bogged down in all this litigation for just years and years and years. But you don't need XRP to make cross-border payments anymore between institutions or between regular people. It just kind of faded away.
Yeah, and well, smart contracts like DeFi building blocks are what really enabled stablecoins as well.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how the XRP army just has like faded into irrelevance.
Yeah, I agree.
But yet,
Sam, do you remember like days where it was like relevant? Because like for me, when I entered in 2020, it already seemed irrelevant. You know what I mean? So I don't know how it's like for people who like maybe have seen it earlier on, and maybe it was relevant like back then. You know what I mean?
In 2015, 2016, 2017, they were quite relevant.
Yeah.
As far as I remember, like there were a big thing. Like I remember that early on in crypto, I did some trading back then because I played like everyone in this crypto journey ends up doing a bit of trading. No, I don't anymore because I don't have time and I'm a bad trader, to be honest. But the thing is that I did some cash on like XRP 2016, 2017 perhaps. And I was like, whoa, I just earned money on the back of banks, blah, blah. Because everyone thought that XRP was the bank coin, which it wasn't, but it was some kind of a meme back then.
Yeah, I know. And I think if they had been able to like continue as they wanted to, maybe they would have made it, but we never made it. We never got to see that because of the ongoing SEC litigation.
Perhaps.
Yeah. Well, we're going to get yet another stablecoin on ETH. I wonder like where it competes. You know, the thing is like I just looked at the CoinGecko and XRP is still in the top 10. So there must be some relevance there.
For sure, man. Also, like I don't know, but like if all of a sudden they're doing like a stablecoin, so what does it mean about the actual product that they try to do like up till now? You know what I mean? Or like how does it sit like in the overall strategy? It's like what I'm wondering about. And also okay, well, are there any kinds of benefits or something like that we already know about for this upcoming RL USD? Does it say anything that you will manage to grasp already?
Well, I mean, the stablecoin business is just a great business to be in. You issue some money, people use it, and you get paid on the interest from like the short-term treasuries and that you hold, and that could be quite a lot of money. I mean, if they get up to a few $1 billion, I mean, that's a lot of interest income.
Yeah, but I mean, like, is there a specific reason like to hold RLUSD today among all these like stablecoins out there?
I guess we talked about this yesterday with Anton from Holy Held, and just everybody should have their own stablecoin. It just makes sense if you're a large brand.
Yeah, actually,
you know, it's just your own money that you issue, and from an economic sense, it just is the right thing to do. So, well, I think we'll see more of this as we go onwards. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Squid USD maybe.
Well, we have some ideas for Squid. We've been talking about it in the Squid Cave. We'll see how those play out. Squid staking at some point, I guess. Okay, so the most controversial thing that has happened this week is the Zksync airdrop. It's been just filling up my timeline of the Zksync team searching for Sibblers and other airdrop farmers. What do you guys think about all this? I don't think I actually qualified, so I have no like rabbit in this hunt.
I didn't qualify as well. Go ahead, Moshe.
No, please.
I was just saying I didn't qualify as well, but like it's cool. Like I didn't really do many stuff on Zksync, so why would I really qualify? Like I remember like way back in the day, before I even became like DeFiAdvisoor, I probably like tried onboarding some funds, to Zksync and set some transaction here and back, or use one of the dApps. But it was like 2021 airdrop hunting, like a very mild version of airdrop hunting, and I was like too long have passed for this kind of stuff to meet criteria. Probably like it's not. Stuff became more sophisticated ever since that like old attempt of an airdrop hunt on my side. And yeah, I just saw a lot of people like I don't know, upset, I guess, that they didn't get it. But for me personally, okay, it's cool that I didn't get it. I didn't really earn it.
So I guess one thing that we can note about it that they've done right is that their airdrop is 17.5%, which is insanely big in terms of airdrops. They said they had what is it here? Something like 65,000 or 650,000 addresses. Yeah, it's just pretty incredible.
Yeah, people have waiting for this one for a long time, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that the bigger your airdrop, the more holders you have, and the more your token is actually distributed, which is a good thing. Like in the end, okay, you don't control your world supply, so price movement will be more chaotic, but in the end, you will have less risk of like investors dumping or stuff like that, because you are already well distributed, which is way better in the long run for like everyone. Like I would feel like airdrops should be at least 25% of like any coin. Like the bare minimum should be 25% for like an airdrop. Honestly,
that's a lot.
Yeah, I know, but it all depends like how your airdrop is done. Like after, if you want, we could discuss this more, because we are helping a sister company do stuff, so we can discuss that later. But actually, the bigger your airdrop, the bigger your token will be distributed, and the more community will be involved, and it's more fair. Just like Bitcoin was pretty fair, Ethereum also. Okay, there was a pre-sale, but most of it was distributed through like mining, which is equivalent to like an airdrop. You need to work for it, but you get it. And I think that the best coins will always be done like that. That's my opinion.
Yeah. So I think there's I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty agnostic about the ZK thing. I haven't seen too many people actually using it. I know that.
Yeah, well, the main issue is that most of these new techs, like you have people who want to like farm airdrops, and they try just to farm airdrops. Of these, you perhaps have 1% will stay users, and most of them will just leave after the airdrop, which is really problematic, and which means that there is a lot of initiative to like fix that. Like, for example, Sablier, who is working on Airstreams, for example, is pretty cool. You like also have others that are doing that. And the point system, and like if you continue earning airdrop after the airdrop date, and like the whole airdrop turns into a more incentive-like system after launch, then you can keep incentivizing those users, and actually all the farmers only people will leave, and you will only keep real users in the long run. And then you can have two curves, one which is the airdrop farmers, which is going down, and one which is the users, which is going up, and then you can mitigate that effect. But I have yet to see tokens that are really doing that well so far.
Yeah, so I don't think airdrops are ever going away. People are going to continue to farm points.
Yes, of course, yeah.
Lots of points. But you guys are having an airdrop, and I think that's a good place to transition to Aleph. So I came across Aleph maybe like 3 years ago now. Maybe it's hard to tell.
2020, no?
Yeah, 2020. And you guys were working with Solana at the time. It was supposed to be this really interesting like messaging system. And you guys have evolved quite a bit now. And now Aleph is taking the step into decentralized AI and Web3 cloud solutions, both from the older Aleph staking, and then there's going to be a new AI system that's coming out called Libertai.
Yeah.
And that's coming soon. So what exactly is Aleph for people that don't know at home?
So Aleph IM is a decentralized cloud. So like whatever you can do with AWS, for example, you can do it with Aleph IM in a decentralized way, like host a website, host a backend, run server-side code for a long time, run serverless functions, store files. You can do all that on the Aleph IM network in a decentralized way. So like that's what we do in a nutshell. There is multiple kind of nodes. There are the core channel nodes, which are the controllers of the network, and there is the computing resource nodes, which are the nodes that are actually running your software in them. So that's what is Aleph IM, and Aleph IM has like always been that. In the Solana era, I would say, which is still the case because Solana is still strong, we have worked on decentralized indexing of Solana, and we released a framework for indexing of the Solana blockchain that we since then ported to like also EVM chains. And so our indexing now supports both Solana and EVM chains, currently Ethereum, BNB chain, and soon Base as well.
It's pretty cool. And, unfortunately, the Solana like collapse at the time last year, FTX collapsed. It was not great for you guys. I know that FTX had been working with you, and it took a long time for you guys to throw off the morass of all the mess that FTX caused. But the time has passed, and you guys are back on it again, and things are growing. It's thankfully you weren't a casualty of the FTX era, right? It's now 2024, and you guys have made it out and are continuing to grow again.
Yeah, exactly. And like as you said earlier, there is an airdrop system like with points, etc. Liberty AI is another company and another project separate from Aleph.im, which is aiming to like do basically what OpenAI does in the centralized world. It's aiming to be a decentralized OpenAI. So API access, assistance, and now as well agents, which are being developed on top of Liberty AI. Liberty AI uses the computing of Aleph.im, just like OpenAI uses the all the computing power from like Azure, from Microsoft, and Azure proposes API from OpenAI. Well, 26, which is the cloud UI of Aleph.im, will also propose in the future Liberty AI API, and Liberty AI is an AI provider on top of Aleph.im, and so you can even chat with it, play with it. Everything is open source, everything is private. Currently, it's as private as, for example, Venice AI from Eric Burrows. This part is already live on Liberty AI. And what Liberty AI is working on right now is confidential inference. Just like Apple announced it a few days ago that they're working on it. Well, Liberty AI is already working on it for like a few months here. And the idea is that the whole inference, like the whole AI completions, etc., will be done inside trusted execution environments, inside CPUs. So like not even node owners can come and see what has been generated, what has been processed. And it's quite important because if you want to like have an agent, like for example, an agent is a piece of code that you are running and that is doing something. For example, a trading bot is an agent, which is not really smart, but a smart agent is the same thing powered by an AI. And if you want it to like do actions, you need it to have private keys. And if you want to have private keys, you better have confidential inference and confidential virtual machines on top of it. So like that's what Liberty AI is focusing on right now.
So what does it actually mean to have like decentralized AI? Like it gets thrown around a lot, but what is the kind of overall like vision for that?
Well, it's thrown a lot around right now. Most of the people who are saying that they are doing decentralized AI aren't doing decentralized AI at all. Some of them are doing it. And in most of the cases, it just means that your inference, like your text generation, gets assigned to like nodes of a decentralized network, basically. What Liberty AI is doing is going one step further, where since you can pay for your own computing using tokens, well, on the internet, no one knows that you're a dog, okay? On the blockchain, no one knows that you are on the AI. So you can pay for computing as well. And so if you are an agent that has its own private keys, perhaps you have a DAO that is managing your funds. Then you can sign messages, pay for your own computing, replicate yourself, train new models, why not? Fine-tune models, replicate yourself, start new AIs themselves in the future. And as long as those AI can pay for their own computing, they're unstoppable and they can run forever. And that's where it gets interesting, because I think that to get to like an AGI, there is no other way. Like if you are always controlling what the AI is doing, you can't get to like a state where you have an actual AGI, artificial general intelligence, which is the holy grail of AI, can only have it in a decentralized network. And that's what Liberty AI is trying to do right now.
So AGI, okay. So let me just throw something together here. AGI can only happen when the model or agent or whatever you want to call it is essentially able to generate enough value that it can pay for its own compute.
Yeah.
Without having to rely on some external company or group of actors to provide the compute for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's an interesting concept, because it's kind of like matrixy, right? Like,
yeah.
It's been like, wait, Matrix came out in I think it's almost like 25 years since the Matrix came out.
Yeah.
But again, like in that sort of thing, right? Like that's AGI, right? Because it's able to capture humans and harvest their energy to produce enough power for itself to run. But in a more kind of modern sense of where we are now, or maybe backwards because Matrix was in the future. The ability for AI to essentially earn money that it can use to pay for as credits or tokens or whatever it needs to do to continue its existence is how did seems like there would be some type of competition between AIs to see who could make the most.
Yes, of course.
Like earn the most revenue.
Yeah, just like with like animals' life, it works like that. And if I believe that if we want to like get to a state where we have an AGI, we need to have something that like mimics life and mimics the risk of death as well. And if it runs out of tokens, it dies.
It must harvest the spice, right?
Yes, something like that. Yeah.
So, like, how do you determine which agents get created and get funded?
Well, you can see the activity on the Aleph IM computing network and see what is happening. You can see the activity on chain, like payment streams that are going from a producer to like a computing supplier, a computing resource node will start receiving payment streams from an AI, and then you can see all those payment streams going around. You won't know if it's on AI or not, basically.
Right.
And if it's on confidential computing, like what we are working on, there will be no way of knowing. There are safeguards and stuff like that. Like I am saying that, like it looks a bit risky, but there are safeguards. And again, like just like a human, if you raise a child well, he will behave well and he will be a good human, a mensch. Well, just like that, an AI can become the Übermensch and be a really good AI.
So who do you see using Aleph and Liberté's AI systems?
Well, for Liberty AI, there is quite a few different users, like people who want to like use an AI assistant. A new feature that is going to be released in the next coming weeks is the knowledge database, like where people can just put all their documents. It gets encrypted and stored on a decentralized network. And then when you are talking with your AI assistant, it gets access to like all your documents, which are encrypted for you. Then, for example, if you have a project, you can invite that Telegram bot and give it access to like a list of documents of the project, and then you can have a bot which is a chat manager, for example, and that can answer questions. Um, Other kind of use cases is enterprises, because enterprises need to be able to do inference like text generation and calls to AI, etc., in a way where they don't leak personal document of their users or even confidential information of the company. And doing it on a decentralized network means that there is no one actor that can get all your data because it's distributed. And with confidential inference, even if they get a hold of one of the nodes, they can't even get it in the end. So like it's like an onion with like multiple layers of security. So I think that it will be quite interesting for like companies as well. And then on the agent side, I think that the biggest users in the end will be DAOs, because DAOs right now don't work well because of the human part of the DAO, which means there is a lot of friction, people who don't answer in time, etc. And then DAO get cumbersome to like manage. If you have an AI that can take action and ask questions to like humans of the DAO once in a while, and then just compile it and know all the opinions of everyone and take decisions. I think that in the end, DAOs will be a good use case for agents as well.
Sam, you're muted, I think.
Yeah, I was I've been digging through the website and stuff, and the existing Aleph deployment essentially allows you to deploy anything like AWS. I'll bring that up right now. I run a couple of nodes on AWS, or not AWS, with another service provider, but yeah, it looks very much the same. Like you can come and choose an instance and essentially get it deployed. You guys are out. It's going to switch over to essentially confidential soon.
Yeah. The thing is that hopefully for each CC we'll have a first beta version of confidential, because right now it's just regular virtual machine. So it's really hard, but a node owner could, if he was really malicious, get inside your VM and look at the memory. It's hard, but it's doable. With confidential computing, you can't, because the whole RAM of your virtual machine is encrypted, the file storage is encrypted as well, and you have a dedicated CPU that will only communicate with that encrypted memory. And then you can hold private keys or whatever, and you will even have your own IPv6. Like the thing is that our nodes are required to have a /64 IPv6 subnet, which means that IPv4, we can't ask node owners to have many IPv4 because there aren't many. And when you order a server, typically you just have one, but they will all have a lot of IPv6. And then you can have an IPv6 directly for your virtual machine and directly connect to your virtual machine using IPv6. And then since it will have HTTPS, SSH, etc., then you can have a secure means of communication directly with your virtual machine, and you can be sure that there is no man in the middle or anything.
Sounds pretty cool.
And so, yeah.
Well, that's great. So what's the timeline on everything again?
On all that, there is on the 18th, the token generation event of Liberty AI. The Liberty AI points are given to stakers and node owners of the Aleph IM network. But there will also be other campaigns to get points, like users of Liberty AI, people who create knowledge databases and share it, create personas, create agents in the future will be able to earn points as well. Those points will be minted as tokens, not one for one, because when points were created, it was for a 150 million total supply, and I think that the max supply should be 60 million, and at launch it will only be 20 million, I think, total supply for the Liberty AI token, if I remember correctly. Again, those figures can still change before launch, so don't take everything at face value. So token generation event for Liberty AI, 18th of June. I don't know if the tokens will be transferable immediately or a bit later. July 7th is Serverless Brussels, which is an event just before ECC, which is co-organized by Aleph IM 26 and Liberty AI, and other partners as well. It's a full day event, so expect announcements there. And then there is ECC just after, where Aleph IM is a sponsor as well. Hopefully in the summer, confidential computing and inference will come to the Aleph IM network and Liberty AI. Agents will come in the future before end of year with a framework to deploy agents, and then it goes on with many other features.
Very cool. It's looking forward to all that. So DeFiAdvisoor, we're going to have some squid agents coming soon.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah,
see.
you seemed like you had some ideas while Moshe was talking.
Well, it's up to Garrett. Is the brains behind all of our tech stack. So maybe we can convince him to deploy a Leviathan agent for us.
Honestly, the more we know how to leverage ourselves, for Leviathan, and with instruments like even Squid or stuff related to it, all these amazing like teams and people that we interview here puts us in a very like unique position to actually try and leverage on it. So I mean,
very cool. Well, Moshe, it was great to hear about what you're doing with Aleph and
Thank you.
what's coming with Liberté. And I think that I'll be in ECC as well too, so we'll see each other there. Yeah.
Really, you're going to with CC, Sam?
I am. Yeah.
Nice. When did you decide? I didn't know. I had no idea that you've decided.
Yep. Well, I will be out there. So in Brussels.
You know who will be really happy? Colin. Did you talk to Colin?
Yeah, actually, Colin hit me up. We're going to be doing a bunch of interviews through with Colin. So
that would be amazing, man.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. Wow, so cool.
And yeah, well, if you are in ECC, there is our event on July 7th, which is the Sunday, which is an all-day event just before ECC on Web3, DeepIn, AI, and gaming.
Very cool. Well, I'll be there, and we'll be doing a bunch of interviews at ECC as well too for Leviathan. So looking forward to that, and looking forward to see you, Moshe.
Same.
So and anybody else that's going to be there as well too, reach out, come join our Squid Cave, and we can maybe plan a Leviathan event while we're in Brussels.
Cool.
Wow, cool.
Awesome. Maybe you can come, DeFiAdvisoor.
To be honest, I'm not. I don't think I will be in Brussels this year. But man, now that you're coming, it's quite a surprise. I had no idea that you intend to come up till this second. It's actually so cool because after I've been to this recent one in Belgrade, even though it's like a relatively like small one, it made me like realize that there is so much opportunity with these conferences, both in general and also for content creating. This is like content creators' paradise. These places, and we should make sure to send you there like with a cameraman or whatever, like, because like cool stuff can be done. You know what I mean? Really?
Exactly. Yeah. We'll plan some stuff out. We'll try to do a Leviathan meetup while we're there. So
cool, man.
Cool. Thanks everybody for tuning in today. You can come find us at Leviathan_.news, and you can also find Moshe at Aleph or on Twitter at Moshe Malawach, and we will be back tomorrow.
Sure. And send them to read the tentacle, of course.
Yes, of course. Yeah. I don't know if there's a tentacle coming out today, but there'll be one tomorrow. So make sure to go to leviathannews.substack.com, and we'll be back tomorrow. Thanks, guys.